We're almost at the end of the season, and it's been quite a journey. But it's okay, because we're here forever, even if we can't be. Welcome back to the Trading Desk. My name is Ebube, and this is the Popcorn for Dinner podcast. Here on the Trading Desk, we delve deeper into the nuances of HBO's industry as a follow-up to the more immediate coverage by Bankole and Ayo, and this week, the amazing Will Goodman, that drops right here on the Popcorn for Dinner feed every Sunday night right after the episodes air. We're also going to be previewing the next episode, which, by the way, is the finale, and discussing not just what we know, but what we can expect, because things have absolutely gone out of control. AJ was right about Whitney. There's just so many things that we need to reckon with now. We should have listened to her. I listened to her, but it wasn't enough. We're all spiraling. Henry is spiraling. I'm not sure what to do. I don't know if if everything's going to be okay, to be honest. But I guess we might as well just get to figuring it out. So, AJ, where you at?
I feel I have to just say, the way Whitney said, "Do you know why you can't regulate your emotions?" was excellent line reading. I said, I had to hold my chest. I said, whoa, is he talking to me?
That was good, actually, because
That was
it's
so
true.
good.
It's
It's
true. I mean,
true.
Whitney Halverstrom, the great Max Minghella. Yeah, we are eating good in this show. I love the fact
Yeah.
that such amazing work can be done, and that we can see it in such an amazing package, right?
Yeah.
Like, the casting in this show is always phenomenal. Like, they
Yeah.
always do a great job of making sure that the people that we actually, get are bringing their A game. Like, they bring the people who truly fit the mold. And yeah, there's honestly like a lot to get into, because Whitney was kind of, plotting his escape throughout. All our discussions about, what might be next for him last episode, I guess we were actually kind of onto something, right? Because who knows now actually whether we will truly be seeing more of him, especially in the finale, because the way he disappeared at the end of the episode on Henry, that was, I don't want to say it was unprecedented, but at the same time, it was crazy. But the truth is, one of the reasons it was so shocking was because of Kit Harington. This man was acting in this episode. Okay, Kit Harington was doing an incredible job the whole time.
Yeah.
He was just completely wowed, and he was just in shock. Like, he played perplexity just in an amazing way throughout the episode. And I think seeing him in disbelief is just like this level of disbelief, I mean, it's like a new emotion for him on the show. Right from the beginning of the episode, where Henry is listening to, I guess, Whitney's monologue, Whitney's explanation of, like, let's go one more time in the office. And Whitney's also just so casual. And you're like, this guy is a psycho.
Like, he had said something. He said this, like, it was a manifesto of a guru terrorist or something. He really couldn't believe what Whitney wrote in that letter.
He said it was like a guru. He said it reads like a guru terrorist manifesto, which is just fantastic. That's just great. I love that so much. And I just like listening to that conversation was just an amazing experience, because the level of what the hell is actually happening that Henry was dealing with was too much. It was just too much, and I'm appreciative of just the opportunity to enjoy that. I wonder, though.
Can we talk about Marissa, though?
Yeah. I was just about to say, like, I wonder if Marissa, was able to bring out even more slightly, just because the material was just amazing in this episode, right? Because
so good.
First of all, in that shouting match that they have at the beginning of the episode, obviously, it's at odds, right? And I think every argument is really just a clash of just ideals. But in this case, it's more than just ideals. It was perspectives and values. And I think that dichotomy between their values is really what drives how they proceed through the episode and what happens at the end with her essentially abandoning him. Let's just call it what it is.
Yeah.
He is concerned about perception and she is
Yeah.
concerned with comfort.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, her need to be comfortable in life is something that, you know, we can't necessarily blame her for, but it feeds a lot of the hypocrisies that define who and what she is as a character.
Yeah.
But I guess we'll talk about that in a bit. What were your thoughts on Marissa's performance throughout the episode?
You could literally see it was a point where she didn't look like herself. She looked like her anger. Like her face was literally, you know, when
She
Nigerians
had
say, oh, you're
become something
squeezing your
else.
face too much, you've become something else. She was literally someone else. She was just angry. Like, what did you do with the money? Because surely, she was like, oh, I'm like, okay, this is more than we saw in, was it episode 2? Henry's episode. I'm like, this is greater than like that
Yeah.
episode, and that episode was already great. And I'm just thinking about the pairing.
That was definitely
Like,
the
they're
moment.
excellent together on screen. Like, the two of them, Marissa and Kit Harington, I'm like, yeah, like, I would watch anything as long as you both are in it. Like, they were so good. They were so good.
You know, the funny thing about that, I realized that that really was the moment when he said, you know, I invested the money in tender stock. Because I know some people will say Yasmin is a gold digger, but what she truly is, you know, and, you know, I guess those people can decide whether the internet can decide whether or not those people are right. But I think what Yasmin truly is a girl that refuses to exist without access to soft life.
Yeah.
And I think that some people will say that there's merit in that, other people won't. But the thing is, and my issue with Yasmin in this regard is the fact that she has not actually admitted this to herself.
Yeah.
Like, she just, I don't know how much I can kind of respect, you know, this sort of series of actions from her when she won't even acknowledge that, you know, this is who/what she is. Like a lot of the other characters in the show, Harper especially, they know what they are. They know who they are. And, you know, you can tell from the conversation that Yasmin and Harper have towards the end of the episode that there is definitely a discrepancy there in terms of, like, you know, what she is, what she should be doing, who she is, because she's actually contradicting herself a lot. And when I say this is the moment, I'm comparing it really to that day at the gas station with Robert.
Yeah.
When they see that family, you know, he's bought lottery tickets and she's just there, and then she realizes, oh my God, I can't do this. Like, you can tell.
No.
Like, you didn't realize it in the moment, but later on you're like, okay, I see. Right? And I think this was it. I think this was a very similar thing where he says, oh, the money is in tender stock. And she just starts saying, throughout the episode, she's just rationalizing. I think in this sense, because there's real love with Henry. And not that there wasn't love with Robert, but there's real love with Henry in the sense that, you know, they're married, they have a future, like they've built something on some level. There are a lot of forces invested in their success.
Yeah.
She's rationalizing the entire time. She's like, she keeps saying the right people will survive, which I was just like, wow, look at you. Look at you. Wow. You know, so
like there's
I don't know. I think
she's
on
not
some
a
level
good
it's callous.
person.
Yeah, it's callous. It's callous. I mean, it's
'cause
something that even Norton would say is callous.
Yeah, I feel even down to, she grew. It means that I would applaud Yaz for who she is if she didn't pursue her desire for power and comfort in such a selfish way. Even down to the people she loves, because like apparently she actually loves Henry. Honestly, I didn't believe until episode 7, not gonna lie. She actually loves him. But because she knows she's not going to she's not going to be you see, she asked where's the money. He told her, oh, I invested in tender stock.
Which, by the way,
You're saying
is a reasonable decision.
And we'll get back. Anyways, and he's
Like,
like,
from
oh,
his
like you're
perspective.
thinking about the money. but
Yeah.
I'm a good person. Social perception is what I'm thinking about now. And you're thinking about the money. She's like, you're right. You're right. They get on the bed. The babe did not sleep. She was just thinking, okay, what is going to be my way out? How am I going to come out of this? Okay, then we see her whole dynamic
Norton.
with
Jennifer.
Jenny, or is it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jennifer Bevan.
And
Jenny.
then you think, okay, you can clearly see in your head you're not doing this for you. Sorry, for your friend. You're literally doing this for you. But she's like, oh yeah, I'm your friend. I'm
Oh,
looking out
she
for your
read her
best
for
interest.
filth. I loved it so
And
much.
Jenny's like, this is a marriage of convenience. But
And I know you're used to those.
yeah, I know you're used to that. I'm like,
That
say it
was
again.
yeah.
Say it again. Because she and even in that argument, you could see Yaz believed to an extent what she had done was for Jenny and not for herself. And I feel
It's a lack of
predicting
self-awareness. It's a lack
that
of
does it for me. And
like you
I'm
just
like, what is wrong
you're
with
really
you?
there's this lack of honesty with yourself. Like you can't even
Yeah,
admit to yourself that what you're doing is self-centered, even though
it's
everything
self-centered.
about it screams selfishness. Like
Yeah.
the words Jenny used to describe her, it was just like because it's exactly what she is, and she lashes out, right? Jenny
Mm-hmm.
hangs up before
Yeah.
Yasmin can start screaming, which is
Yeah.
fantastic direction, by the way. I
Mm-hmm.
think we all agree that this might be the best directed episode of Industry. Like there's just so many
Yeah.
artistic choices, so many narrative choices, just so many cinematic just everything about it
Yeah.
was just so considered, and it really brought this the episode together because all the scenes were just stitched in a way that flowed seamlessly.
Yeah.
And I loved it. I love that because the fact that she can say all those things and immediately leave, like it shows something about Jenny. She's not concerned about what Yasmin thinks. Meanwhile, Yasmin is
At
very much
all.
concerned about what Jenny thinks. And
Yeah.
it's just the fact that she like Henry's reputation isn't even cold in the ground yet, and she's already trying to get placement with Jenny in her
Do
office.
you
And
understand what
Jenny's
I
just
mean?
Jenny's like, bro, like, are you evil?
Are you crazy? And then when we even talk on her last conversation with Norton, where she was crying with the ring on her finger,
Yeah,
and
I love
I feel
again, cinematic choices. I
yeah,
loved that. I very much noticed it. Like they showed
yeah,
that ring and everything, and both of them, both rings, right?
literally,
So
yeah. We see Norton probably thinking, oh, dang, this is like hard love. This is Yaz putting her foot down. This is saving Henry. And then Yaz is crying like, oh my God, yes, yes, yes. But I don't think she was crying because her marriage is difficult or Henry is a lost cause. She was crying because this thing she's about to do
it's
is going
devastating.
to, yeah, but it's not, she didn't feel bad about, I don't think she felt bad. Like, oh my God, Henry, 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 Henry. It's more so, I feel in my heart, I have to do this for me. Like, I need a way out. I am suffocating. This marriage is not good for me. This man is not going to take me anywhere because literally all our life savings, you invested it into tender that is literally about to crash. I need a way out. That's why she was crying. It was more so, I'm overwhelmed. I can't do this anymore. As opposed to, oh my God, it hurts. Why are we doing this to Henry? And I'm just looking at the babe cry with the ring on and her robe that she's always wearing. I'm like,
I actually really appreciate the YM Yasmin Muck
yeah.
embroidery on the cuff. Very nice.
It's like, I don't know. Yaz is like every
Shout out
single,
to
and
costume
then when
design.
we predicting episode 8, you can clearly see the setup because now Yaz and Happy Yaz, or I don't know what their hashtag is on Twitter, they're on this high, right?
It's
And
either
I feel like the
Yaz Harper or
internets were like, were excited. Oh my God, Yaz Harap, Yaz, oh my God, our girls are back. Our girls are, that. I'm just like, we're on this high, so we can jump off a cliff. They're pushing us because Yaz is going to show Harper Shege. She's going to show Harper how evil she
yeah.
can be just to get her way in the world. Like, clearly we can see that. And I feel just even Harper's Harper in this season, in ways more than the previous seasons. They really humanized her. They made
Hmm.
her seem small, but in some ways so big. And I'm like, okay, she's going to soften up. She's going to soften up. She's going to soften up. And we see her in season episode 7 softening up with Yaz at the end. I'm like, oh, babes, I think you should hard girl back. Like, don't open yourself up. Cause I'm like, this Yaz is going to be do my girl Dead Sea, and I don't know what that's going to look like, but it's going to be bad.
Yeah, I Yasmin. I'm not going to call her a social climber so much, because I think that it's a little bit more nuanced than that. But I do think she is unaware of just how self-preserving she can be. And it's funny because she's relentlessly this way while being in a marriage with somebody who doesn't seem to have any real sense of self-preservation. So, and I guess Kit Harington is good at playing such people. Um, but at the same time, you could tell she was plotting her escape, right? Like when he
Yeah,
essentially implies that he might as well kill himself if the situation truly goes downhill. And, you know, that's a lot. It's difficult because she wants to leave, but she knows that she can't just do it because he may get into harm. So she engineers a
yeah,
way for it to happen that makes it look like she's just gone. But I did
yeah.
think it was interesting that she did not even try to call him or warn him. She just resigned.
Nope.
He has not seen her.
Yeah,
She's not seen him. That says a lot about her. And I just truly appreciate Jennifer Bevan. She kind of almost allowed herself to devolve into something she's not, but she apparently has principles. And I think Alexander Norton also appreciated that. But
yeah,
I guess at this point, looking into the finale, Harper, Yasmin, and Henry are going to be the most important characters worth focusing on.
yeah,
100%. And I wonder, we've already kind of started talking about Harper and Yasmin, but I wonder how much that dynamic, this new exploration is going to affect things in the finale. What were your
yeah,
thoughts, I guess, on the fact that, they started to actually cross a new line, like they did kiss. And by the way, there are a lot of like somewhat intimate scenes in clubs in this
yeah,
season. This
yeah,
is at least the third one. But
yeah. They
um
love a good EDM.
yeah,
Daft Punk.
yeah,
Okay.
and a lot of Daft Punk, a lot of they're just you can tell, and again, amazing direction because everything is sort of just contributing to an
Yeah,
overall vibe that really sells a feeling. And I
yeah,
think that makes a lot of sense. So I guess now that this has happened, what's going to happen with them? What do you think? Like, I know you said Harper is going to essentially see Yasmin's true colors because Yasmin can't really handle this level of, I guess, responsibility as long as because she will always look out for herself first, right?
yeah,
Um, and I wonder if that's something she can overcome.
yeah. But I wouldn't even say Harper is going to see Yaz's true color. It's more so she's going to regret opening up or softening up
Mm,
towards Yaz again. And especially when things are about to get really big for her.
yeah.
Because I feel if she stuck to who she is, like a very, hard-headed, self person, right
Mm,
now, when she's about to get really big, like Harper, that's when she's meant to even harden up even more and protect all she's fought for. But she's opened herself up to Yaz now in a way that it's really going to hurt, especially because she doesn't have Eric anymore. She doesn't have anyone that has
Eric.
historically been there for her other than Yaz. And from time being, her relationship with Yaz had always been very tricky. So that dynamic now where there's more to lose, and it's not even just more as in abundance, it's more as in I fought so hard to be here. And now I'm
Hmm.
finally here. And now it's this one witch from back in the day that's going to ruin things for me. That's what I feel is going to happen. And Yaz just being where she's at, like so bare, so empty, so hungry
Mm-hmm.
for something to latch on to. It's not going to be, I don't think it's going to be her latching onto Harper to climb up. She's going to climb on top Harper's head to get where she wants to be. And yeah, that's going to, because like I said from literally the first episode we recorded, these girls are not meant to be friends. One person has to die because they're not
Wow.
good. They're not good for each other at
Why can't they
all.
just
So it's
walk
going
out
to
of
be
each other's
really
lives? Why do
messy.
they need to die?
What? No, because that's the thing with toxic relationships. Like you can't just ever fully walk out.
Mm-hmm.
Someone has to someone has to go. Someone has to go. And I feel, and then I'm trying to understand how Henry is going to be in the middle of all of this. I'm thinking the possible reason why Yaz could betray Harper is because Henry does something. Because unfortunately, there's love there. So I feel Henry is still going to be in the mix. And I don't know why I feel Henry isn't going to be in the mix as someone that's helpless or someone that's lost or someone that's at their limit. I think possibly he's going to fight back harder than he's ever fought.
Yeah, maybe
But
this is the
to
moment
what
where he
end?
turns into a fighter, where he turns
Yeah,
into
my
somebody who
God.
can hold his
As he
own.
has to stand up. He's a man.
I'm
He
also
has to
thinking about the
stand up.
fact that in episode 2, he tells her that they should try for a child. And I
Oh.
wonder if anything's going to come of that. I wonder if that's going to be something we'll find out at the end of the season, that maybe she is actually pregnant. But I don't know if those two are actually that intimate these days. So I guess we'll see.
Real.
Yeah, I guess we'll
Do you
see.
think Yaz would want to? I don't think she's
She definitely doesn't want to have a child
want to
with
be a
Henry.
mom, like, period. Not just with Henry, like, period. She's too selfish to, like, procreate.
Selfish people want children
And
too.
then
They just don't
her
realize that they
type
can't
of
handle it.
selfish is her type of selfish is more so I don't just want to take care of anyone that I need to take care of. So baby, it's like,
unless that's someone becomes an extension of themselves, which is kind of what on some level children are. Because it's not like they asked to be here, right? So we'll see. I don't know if that's
Real.
something that Yasmin can. I don't know. Yasmin is an interesting one, and
She is very interesting.
once she starts to say, "I'm so jealous of you," I'm just like, "Oh boy." I'm like, "Gee, Yasmin, that's crazy. We had no idea." Of course, we know that you're jealous, and it's interesting that they want to be each other because, as you said, Harper has clawed everything out of the mud. So I guess on some level, it makes sense that she feels what she feels for somebody in her life that everything has kind of just been somewhat given to, yet she doesn't know what to do with it, right? Harper said, "I really resented you for being a breathing example of how I was less." And Yasmin says that she just wants to be necessary, right? That she's never been necessary. And I think that is sad because she is and has been necessary to one person, one very specific person, Henry, the guy she married. And she decided to just ignore that. Like, you are necessary to him and you're here coming to talk about how you're not necessary to anyone. Meanwhile, you're shirking your role as his wife. And I did think it was actually funny that Only Time by Enya started playing in that scene. It was just like, what are these guys doing? It's funny.
It's funny how, like, when Henry starts spiraling the next day when they're on the plane and they hadn't gotten a call back from Pierpoint, and then he sees a request to touch on, like, the whatever is going to come out, and he goes, "Oh my God, I have to call Yaz. I have to call Yaz. I have to call Yaz."
Because he has to inform her.
Like,
yeah,
it's like the first person that comes to his mind is, I have to call Yaz.
His
like,
wife, as he should.
She is really, she is really necessary to him to an extent. But even I feel the devil that sowed the seed in the mind is her aunt that said, you need to be, essentially, to paraphrase, you need to be more than a caretaker. So I feel like ever since that conversation, I feel like it's still in her head that she loves this guy and she wants to take care of him and she wants to be selfless, but she really cannot just be, like, dragging him around and navigating everything, especially when he doesn't even fully appreciate or acknowledge it. So it just sucks. So it's like, I see she wants to be necessary, but like not in the way Henry finds her necessary. I don't know. It's very interesting.
Do you see them reconciling?
I think so, yeah, because only because he would fight back,
Fight
and
back
she's going
against
to see
what?
against something, against
Like against what's
Harper,
coming for
against
tender, or against like, his marriage ending, or against, the
not the
tendency to
mar
remove his life? I mean, what do
his
you think?
his his social perception. Fight back
Okay.
for
For his
himself as
reputation, I see. Okay.
his reputation as the face of Tender.
Because he's
I
been
don't know
left
how
holding the
that's
bag
going.
firmly.
Literally, literally. So I don't know how that's going to play out, but I don't think the way they've written Henry's character is going to be one where he starts low and then there's like this like chaos with him and Whitney and drowning but floating, and
Hmm.
then he ends low. I feel there has to be some kind of fight. There has to be some kind of, I'm going to stand 10 toes and do something. I'm not just going to spiral. I'm going to at least try. So at least that's what I want to see out of Henry, because I don't know, since episode 2, I've been a little softer on him. So I'm
Hmm.
like, oh, like
So
my
it
guy,
worked.
just it literally works. Like not fully, but I'm like, give me something. I would want to see you. I know you're going to lose eventually, but I would want to see you fight to
Yeah.
at least win. But I feel Yaz and Henry, they're going to come back because it's definitely not going to be Yaz and Harper. Like, it's not.
Yasmin saying she wishes she was still 17 because it was so easy to get people to do things for her, in the same breath where she's saying she wants more autonomy, is just like, you
Very
can't.
twisted.
I want to say you can't make this up, which is just a testament to Mickey and Conrad, who made this up, because it just feels so like tangible how somebody can be that ridiculous.
Yeah.
Because I wonder which she's more in need of, character or maturity, because she's kind
Ooh.
of lacking both. And I feel like, this idea that she is just carrying these insecurities and this need for control that she refuses to actually try to earn into all these relationships, right? And
Yeah.
now we can see how it's destroying Henry. Like, Henry, I hope will come out of this okay, because there's a lot of fallout
Mm-hmm.
here. He's
Mm-hmm.
left holding the bag. He has
Mm-hmm.
to figure out how to move forward. And I wonder if Norton can help him. And I actually wonder why Norton chose to go through with this, even though he knew it would destroy Henry. I'm guessing it's because he knows that this stuff is going to come out. So at the very least, let's control
Yeah.
the narrative, right?
Yeah.
But to see him, cry, knowing that he did all he could. Like, Yasmin tells him that he did all he could. And I wonder if he truly believes that. She's saying it to kind of placate him, but also to
Mm-hmm.
sort of like soothe herself, because she wants to
Yeah.
believe that she did all she could. And maybe she did, at least before this, very last moment where she abandons him. But, I feel like that guy is such an amazing character. Like, I love Andrew Havill's performance as Norton. He's really one of my favorite characters in this show. I genuinely wish we
Really.
saw more of him. And to be honest, maybe it's even okay that we don't, because every time he comes, like, there is something that the show is usually trying to say. Like, he has these very
Yeah.
pivotal moments that tell us things about, what life truly is and what matters, right?
Yeah.
And, with Yasmin saying something like the right people will survive, it makes me wonder, like, does she think Henry is one of those right people? It's it's a situation where he's going through real devastation,
Yeah.
while realizing that Whitney never stopped lying. Like, Whitney
My
lied
goodness.
the entire time, like, relentlessly. When Wilhelmina called, and by the way, she's eating McDonald's.
Yeah.
It's just insane. She's yeah, I'm just calling from the US, eating McDonald's.
Yeah.
It's just like, oh my God. Oh my God. Just, it's like, I don't know if they just wanted to, maybe they just sat down and thought, like, what is the most American thing we can do right now?
Right
Like,
now,
let's have an
and it's at
American with an American
McDonald's.
accent in America calling on the phone from America, eating McDonald's. Like, and they were like, yeah, you know what? We did it. We got it.
Yeah.
And, you know,
She
obviously
bust out laughing, saying that like the
I was like, bro,
dream.
this
I'm
is
like,
on the
stop.
nose in the best way. She clearly has reservations about Whitney's character. At least it wasn't clear at first, but she said that she did. She never trusted the guy, which is smart. She says something very prescient, which is that snake oil and servants sound similar.
Yeah.
And even in that moment, she's kind of all business. She tells him very clearly, she says straight up, if equity continues to crater, we will trigger the conversion on Tender's bond. And
completely,
that they will pursue it in full, which, by the way, is very similar to something that happened in Succession. I mean, that's basically what happens in the first half of Succession season 1. And the thing that Kendall is essentially trying to prevent, because he learns that there were a few things that Logan did that nobody knew about. Having said that, though, just the idea that Whitney is distant in this episode, right?
Yeah.
I think it's cool that we now have a certain kind of context on him. You know, like we've always known who Whitney might be. We've had an idea, right? And seeing him now, like in full light, you know, is an interesting experience because there's nothing for him to hide anymore, and there's nothing that he is trying to hide at all. Like, he's literally just coming out and being like, yeah, you know, this is who I am. This is what we're going to do about it. You can fall off the cliff or you can fly with me. But the problem is his invitation to fly with him is a lie because ain't no wings. Also, was it not insane when he walked out of that room and somebody just snatched him?
Wait, like, oh my God. You see, rich people beautiful. Are very funny to me. So Henry now comes out and then he sees someone literally holding Whitney by the back of his neck.
And then he calls his phone.
And then he goes and he
what an idiot, bro. I was like, what are you doing?
Like, he'll tell the person literally kidnapping him, wait, I need to pick up. Like, it's the guy in the room.
I thought he was trying to call concierge. I thought he was trying to call security.
You called the person that's being kidnapped. My goodness. That guy is a fool.
Oh, wow. That was maybe the funniest moment. I think it's supposed to be a tense moment, and it is, but it might be the funniest moment in the whole episode because are you kidding me?
I'm like, I feel like when he went and then he... Like,
and then he stood in the corridor waiting for him to come back. And he was like, oh, where were you? No. What was that? I'm like, bro, are you serious?
What was that? I'm like, you're a fool, though. You're actually just a fool. Like, you're actually a fool. Like, I can't even defend you. It was actually so. And then Whitney goes,
it was just a guy. Didn't you ever pay for it?
It was just a guy.
It's like, interesting that he's now very open about his sexuality. I mean, I guess he kind of was, but it was always kind of under the surface. It was implied. It was something that he was just kind of projecting with his energy that does not respect personal space. But now he's just like, okay, it's a guy.
You know what? I don't know what was happened to Whitney, but I would be glad if this guy dies. Because even me, I get uncomfortable when he's close to people. Like, lip to lip, brotherly, move back. Like, so if I don't see him again in that way, like that, because that personal space thing, it affects me. Like, can you 6 feet, like, step back? But Whitney is so cold because his ability to just switch, because Ferdinand literally just told him, yeah, if we don't have a use for you, then we don't have a use for you, essentially. And then he goes back up and he's just like so cold. Like, Henry had called him a reptile, and like, he really is a reptile because why are you why are you collected?
It's like, interesting, right? It's masterful, actually, how the show's portrayal of Whitney has evolved with the audience's knowledge of who he really is. He's the same guy, but it hits different with context. And this sounds so simple on paper, but I think it's not that easy to do. And they could have handled this differently. Because he goes on, right, to do the whole speech thing, and he's called on his nonsense by a random guy in the audience. It's like, yo, this what you're saying doesn't make sense. And I remember thinking that too. I remember thinking, like, literally, I was like, that sentence does not make much sense. But it's wild, right? Because while all this is happening, you know, things are falling apart in the UK. They even get Lisa Dern. Like, they actually get her, and I thought she was going to make it, but I guess not. It's so wild how Henry Muck ended up being the end of her. Like, from season 3 when she came in, I was just like, sis, be careful. But yeah, I mean, Whitney now, the real question, and this is something people are asking us, and people are discussing on the internet, what is his fate? Is he dead? Do you think he's dead? Do you think he escaped? Do you think he killed himself? Like,
honestly,
I mean, yeah, let's start there. Let's start with, is he dead or alive, first of all?
Only because of the phone. The phone throws me off because I'm like, that's something Whitney would do.
Because he had come in.
If
he knew his phone was being tracked, and he came into the office, and I guess he just dropped it there.
I don't think it was a tracking thing. I think it was more so for Henry, because he knew Henry was probably going to call him.
So he left it there. It was more so,
Henry, I've left my phone here. I have literally ran away. Like, I'm gone. But then with the Russians and everyone, I'm like, they wouldn't let this guy run away like that. So it's either I
don't think there's any way they can find him.
Yes, I think he came in, dropped his phone in attempt to run away, like proper let Henry know this is all on you now. You have to figure it out. And then the Russians caught him and they offed him. But then again, I feel Whitney was
you think he was just caught on his way out? That's possible.
Probably.
That's possible. I mean, I was discussing this with Chubi, one of our friends who listens to the podcast. He was essentially just he was like, his stance is essentially that, you know, Whitney probably offed himself in a way, but there's also the possibility that he was just caught, or he allowed himself to be caught because he knew that there's no way. But then again, my thing is, if they catch him, they're probably just going to put him back because they need him where he is. They need him running tender.
Until they don't.
Yes.
Yeah. But then again, wasn't it Whitney that said, I don't believe in suicide? Or was that Henry? Because Henry definitely believes in suicide. I think at the conversation they had by the ports, like after all the nonsense they did in the club, then they were seated outside and then they're talking about like suicide. I think Whitney said, I don't believe in suicide. So I think I don't think Whitney...
You're right. So basically it would be out of character for him to do that. And I think that is something that's worth pointing out. It's not something that is clear that he would try. I know Yasmin... But
they might surprise us,
They would surprise us. But I think Yasmin, obviously, she barely believes a single word she's saying about Henry when she's talking to Norton, right? And I know that she is aware that he could try to do something to himself, you know, and it made me wonder if it could be the end for Henry, right? And I wonder why, Norton kind of validates Yasmin. I do think he loves Yasmin. He sees her as a daughter. He has daughters of his own. But seeing them crying, made me think about, okay, what could be next for Henry, which then made me think again about what could be going on with Whitney. Because, Whitney is an interesting one. I don't know actually what could be the next step, right? Because even that other guy that caught him, I recognize it. Maybe I'm crazy.
Was it? Yeah.
But you know what I'm saying?
The guy
Jim? From Rishi's apartment.
Yeah.
Yeah. So these guys have been involved the whole time.
I mean, they essentially confirmed it because I think Henry had asked about Daika, and then but I'm like, you at the back. I think I've seen you before.
Basically,
but it's so
It's wild because maybe, and there's something Chibi was saying as well. Like maybe Whitney wants to let these guys believe believe that they're in control. Maybe he left knowing that somebody would try to collect him, and then they collected him, right? But now that he's kind of tested the limits of what they can do, he's able to actually escape. Maybe he's actually figured it out because we did see him looking at that passport again. So maybe there is a way. I'm not sure. I'm not sure, but I guess we'll have to find out.
Maybe also your friend watches too many thrillers. or something.
Potentially.
I'm like,
Yeah, he might need
what?
some help. But yeah, I guess that's really it. It's a question
Yeah.
now of what's going to happen with Henry, if he's going to be able to pick himself back up, if Norton will be able to help, if Yasmin
Yeah.
is going to be involved in Henry picking himself back up, if there is real
Mm-hmm.
reconciliation there, if their marriage will dissolve because she doesn't just want to be connected anymore, and if there actually is anything that will come from the whole Yaz Harper dynamic with them, exploring a new kind of relationship that isn't just fire and brimstone. Like, can their relationship actually handle that? I don't know. We'll just have to see.
I really love Friends.
Mm-hmm.
I love when friends stay friends.
Mm.
I don't like when things kind of like, the gray area. So
Yeah,
that kiss really threw me off.
I think all
I'm
of
like,
us, like me,
sisters, what
you,
are we doing?
Bankole, Ayo, Will, I think we're all just like, yeah, no, not that it's bad writing or anything. Like, we do like the writing.
Yeah.
But I just think it's not going to, this is not going to bode well for them. And maybe on some level, that's what the show is
Yeah.
trying to say. Like, them doing this is actually going to be the start of their undoing. Because it is worth pointing out, well, at least right now at the end of the season, the show has been renewed for season 5, and
Season
season
5.
5 is going to be the final season. So,
Yes.
yeah, I mean, kind of sad, but expected. I think it's
Yeah.
expected. It makes sense. So yeah, we're going to look forward to that, and we're going to see how they pick things up. This show tends to come out every 2 years. And
Oh
yeah,
my goodness.
I wonder what the schedule will be like, but I guess we're just going to have to wait and see. Any final thoughts?
Please, my girl has to come back on top. Come out on top. Harper, not Yaz, clearly. Harper has to come out on top. Please. She's been through a lot. And please, can she have screen time in season 5? Like half of the
Oh, I
time.
see. You don't think Harper had enough screen time this season? Because there are allegations
No.
online about the notion that she
I
is
saw
no longer
more
a
of
main character
Whitney
in this
than
show.
Harper.
And I'm like, can that really be true?
The thing is more so, when there's a backbone of something, she is the backbone of the show, but you don't always see the backbone. Everything ties back to Harper, but doesn't mean for this season, we saw her a lot. She was the backbone. Everything tied back to her, but we didn't just see her a lot. And I'm like, I miss season 1 where I'm always seeing this babe. But then I understand with new seasons, the more spread out screen time is going to be for everyone on the show.
Mm-hmm.
So let's go back to our roots in season 5, please. And let me
Yeah,
see
I
my
mean,
girl
sometimes shows do that,
more.
right? As they're ending, they kind of go back to basics to kind of like
Yeah.
reestablish their voice. But I think this show is so good at reinventing itself each season that, yeah, we may get something very fun out of what
Season
they choose to
5.
do next. I guess
Yeah.
one question I have is, and I guess this may seem a bit random, but what role Haley is going to play in the finale? Because we didn't see her this episode. And I think, I know she'll definitely be in the finale. I just wonder how. And I
Yeah.
wonder who she'll be kind of around, whether it'll be Yasmin or Henry or both. I think I'm at a point now where if we see Whitney, I'll be a little bit surprised. But I would like some explanation maybe on what has happened with him. Maybe they'll just leave that open-ended. I'm not sure. It's either he got
Let's see.
or, he managed to escape somehow. But if he did escape, I don't see that lasting long. So yeah, I guess we're just gonna have to see. Even when I don't know, with the journalists too. Like, I don't know if they're going to be playing a role like Burgess and his people.
Yeah.
And obviously Yasmin planted that story. I don't know if that's going to come to bite her, but I think she's probably well past that. I do actually like, by the way, in that scene, when Yasmin is telling Harper, okay, this is, this memo, blah, 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 blah. You can really just tell the moment where Harper clocks that Yasmin is lying through her teeth.
Yeah.
And still wants her to go through with whatever this is. Just the look right before she says, what memo, And Yasmin is talking about how their interests finally align. And I'm just like, she is so self-serving. And I mean, you can tell she's constantly actually in survival mode in this episode. She is playing defense. And I wonder if she actually could have just let it be something that would help Henry. Like if she could have carried Henry along in all this, like she's protecting just herself. And I think that says everything that it needs to say about their marriage and everything. I mean, even when she's telling Alexander that Henry has been using cocaine often.
I know, and then she adds heroin as well. I'm like,
because there's a clause. I think there's a clause in their thing about him using drugs. I think basically, I don't know if it's a prenup or just essentially just an agreement that they have, but it's an official thing in marriage, like related to the marriage, where she can't be unfaithful and he can't use drugs. And she hasn't been unfaithful, but he's been using drugs. So I wonder if that's her telling Norton, like, I want out. So maybe that's something that will happen.
I think it's more so to be like, we have to do this because we're about to lose this guy. So
there's that too. There's that too. I'm just wondering if she's trying to kind of do, like, plant the idea.
I'm like, oh, yes, my girl. Yes.
Yes. I mean, Kit Harington, again, I just have to clap for him. Like, the way he was portraying Henry, reluctantly singing for his supper throughout the episode. On the plane, he's saying things in the meetings as well. He's just like, you can tell he's like, he does not want to be saying what he's saying, but he's saying it because he believes he has no choice. And I'm glad, because now we got a full admission from Whitney. Is like, essentially, the show is at a point where, like, all there's left to do is close off the loose ends. So that they can close loops on a lot of different things. I wonder how this is going to end up. Like I think the main question is really going into this finale are, can Henry pick himself back up? Does Norton is Norton able to support him? Will Harper and Yasmin still be able to maintain some semblance of a relationship by the end of it all? And is Whitney still on the planet? These are things that
I'm screaming. Is he above ground or underground?
Exactly. These are the questions we need to answer. So yeah, I guess with that, thank you all for listening up until this point. This has been a lot of fun. Thank you, AJ. And thank you all for listening to everything else that we're covering. Makale, Ayo, and Will's episodes have been fun to really sink our teeth into. There's a lot of material on this show. We have just a couple more episodes for industry this season. We're really looking forward to how things are going to end up. Our coverage of A Night of the Seven Kingdoms is also completely done, so you can listen to all of that right here on the feed, everywhere you get your podcasts, and on YouTube. And prepare for what we're going to do next, because there's some fun stuff coming. So I guess,
yes, sir.
Until next time, protect your spouse.
Oh.